Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to talk about passion projects, and passion projects are really important for designers, especially students who are trying to figure out where they see themselves in the professional realm, what industry they want to end up in, or what industries they want to do work for if you have your own business, or if you work for an agency that has different clients coming in. If you have the choice, basically, it's really important to start thinking about what choice you're going to make. And there's a few different ways that you can do this while you're in school. So while you're in school studying for your degree, it's a really good idea to do passion projects. If you don't know what passion projects are, basically it's a project that you start on your own, just out of, some sort of passion that you have, something that you love. So if you love basketball, then, maybe you would, if you're into logo design, maybe you make some sort of basketball team logo and you put it on some jerseys and you come up with a color scheme and type and, maybe some marketing materials for them, swag, clothing, like who knows, you can do so much with that. And the same would apply for whatever you're into. Me personally, I did a few different passion projects while I was in school. The main one being my video game concept, Hive, which can be found on my Behance page or on my website if you guys are curious about that. That was for my senior capstone project, so that was less of a project that I just kind of did for myself. And it was, part of the class that I was taking, but I would have made that on my own, whether or not I did it for class or not. So it's a really good idea to do passion projects because not only do you get to kind of decide the scope of the project, and that means that you have the capability to really make this a large project right from the beginning, because sometimes, depending on the type of projects you're given in the classroom, it might be difficult to then go back to that project later on and then try and bolster it and make it, more involved and have more elements to it. If you start off a project already planning out all of these different elements and artifacts that you're going to design, it makes it a little bit easier. And not to mention, it's going to be really fun because it's something that you love. And there's a couple of really great things about this. So the first thing that's really nice about passion projects is once you complete them and they're looking good, you got them all mocked up and you're ready to put them in your portfolio, that is going to directly impact the type of career path you have. In that when you start applying to jobs within, the industry that you like, you have those passion projects that are directly relevant to that industry. So it's not like I would be, applying to, let's say a sports team, right? If I had a sports passion project, then it would be a lot easier for them to see or imagine, my capabilities coming onto their team for what they do, because they can see, the types of things that they're already used to seeing in that sports passion project. Whereas if I don't have a sports passion project and I go and apply for some sort of sports team, they have to, yes, you can see the similarities and the applications that somebody can utilize on your team, but it's just so much easier to present it to them, no thinking work, no extra hassle, just, you want that exchange to be as smooth as possible, and you want an employer to be able to look at your portfolio and instantly be like, oh, okay, cool, like, I can see this person has, they're doing this sports thing, they got a schedule for the season and all the games listed, and they got, I don't know, all kinds of stuff that you could look up that would be designed for a sports team. And it just makes it really easy for that employer to be able to envision you on their team working for them. So I would definitely urge you guys to whatever you're interested in, just make a project out of it. It's really fun. It shouldn't feel like work either. If you're getting to, I don't know, like the end of working on this thing and you're just like, oh man, I'm so glad I'm going to be done with this, then, maybe you kind of overworked it. You want it to be really fun and exciting, and even though you're not doing it for pay, it should still be something that you're really excited about because it's a passion of yours, right? Like, I continue to work on my video game project because I want to be in the video game industry someday, and working on that is really fun and exciting for me. So I really don't even care that I'm not making any money, or I might not sell the game idea someday. It's not about that. It's just because I really love working on Hive and developing more design work for it. So I keep working on it here and there, and it's really, really fun for me. That's what you're looking for. Another thing that can be really great for you when you do passion projects is whenever you're looking for potential clients. If you're either freelancing, or let's say you own your own business, you're starting your own business, this is going to be the work that clients come to in order to basically see if they want to hire you. This is the work that they're looking at as examples of work that you've done in the past, that you can say, hey, I did this over here, and I can kind of do something like this for you too. It sounds like that's what you're looking for, hire me. And it might be kind of weird to say, oh hey, I did this, and then they're probably assuming that it was for a client. And that's kind of the beauty of doing your own projects too, is that it's okay to show somebody an example of work that you've just kind of created yourself, and basically sell it to them as like, I can do this for you. Even though you didn't do that passion project for a client, it's still relevant to show real clients, you know what I mean? So don't feel like, oh, I can't show this because I made this for myself. It's just a concept. It's not real work, and that's totally not true. That's the wrong mindset to have. If you're looking at stuff that you create out of your own passions as not real work, then there's going to be a lot of time and effort that you spend doing these types of things that I guess are just wasted. And it's never a good thing to look at any of the work you do as wasted time. Instead, view those passion projects as opportunities to be able to design a holistic project that would appeal to a certain market of people that you're interested in working with. All right, so especially when you're first starting out, you're not going to have a whole, list of clients and case studies that you can show people. So you can't show them nothing, and you want to present yourself as a professional. So the best thing to do is to create passion projects that display the skills that you have and the types of services that you can offer to prospective clients without, missing pieces, right? So that passion project gives you the capability to fill in any of the holes you think may be present in any client work that you do, because not every client is looking for this, huge project. Some clients are just looking for a couple of things. Maybe they're just looking for a logo, and they're not even looking for any applications of the logo, right? But if I do a logo passion project, like I did a logo for this ethical clothing brand that I kind of developed, and although I've had some clients that literally just want a logo, with the passion project, I can have that stand in my portfolio as, oh look, I designed this logo, the type, the color palette, I even put it onto some clothing, we applied it to a storefront, We applied it to some bags and tags for the clothing and shipping boxes, and there's all these things in that project that show off what you're capable of, or how far you can take just a logo design. And some companies might, if they're smaller, they're not really familiar with design, they might see that, and initially they might have been thinking, oh, I probably just need a logo and maybe a tag for the clothes. But then they see this project, when you place a bid, and they're like, oh, that's right, I do need bags, and I probably should think about shipping, and oh, what if I do want to have a storefront? That's kind of interesting. And they start to see all these different elements, and maybe they realize they need more from you, right? Or a client, already knowing that they need all these things, comes to you and they're like, oh, nice, okay, so this person has already worked on something where they've thought out all the different applications that would need to be created after the initial logo design. And so you see what I'm like, you just set yourself up for a better chance at landing clients for if you're like freelancing or starting your own business, like I said. And that same logic also applies to applying to companies for full-time positions. They're gonna see those ways that you have thought through the initial logo design, and that's what they want to see. They want to see how you can think past just the initial brief, let's say, because that's going to happen in companies too. You might get handed a project and it's like, oh, do this logo and we need this brochure, for this company, and you do it, and then maybe a few months later they come back and, oh, they need this, then this and this and this, right? And that just keeps getting added on to that project for that company. And employers are going to like to see that you've thought through all of those future applications right there in one project up front. It just shows that you have experience with thinking through projects in as much depth as they can, get in. Or you are thinking about the potential depth that a project can obtain, and that's going to be really attractive for companies looking to hire new designers if you're coming out of school and you already have these really, well thought out projects. Because guess what? There's going to be a lot of students coming out of college and they're going to apply to jobs, and they've just kind of reskinned projects that they did for class, or maybe they didn't even really reskin them. They're really short. There's not a whole lot of thinking past just the logo or just the book, and it's like they just put it there in front of them and they think that that's okay. But, you really have to think past that. This kind of goes back to a previous video that I made where I was talking about going above and beyond the initial project guidelines, and it's the same type of thinking here. You really want to make sure that when you post things on your portfolio that they're all inclusive, right? They're well thought out, you've covered all the bases, and you're not missing anything. Because as soon as a company or a potential client doesn't see something, that's a huge red flag for them. But if they see something that they expected to see, or they see something that they didn't expect to see, then that's just huge points for you. And they're, probably more likely to contact you and want to set up an interview and go through the process and do whatever. So passion projects are kind of that gateway to be able to put forth those holistic projects. You want to do everything that you can for yourself to give yourself the lead for when you do go start applying to jobs or looking for clients or whatever it is you decide to do. You got to be competitive, and I think that passion projects is one of the ways that you can stay competitive, one of the things that you can do to put yourself ahead of others. So let me know what you guys thought of the video. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for all the future content that I'm going to be producing. I post one video every single week. Last week I posted 2 because I had missed the prior week because holidays and everything was crazy. but I should be putting out one every week from now on to stay consistent. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.